Good afternoon, Memorial football fans. I'm Charles Strayer, joined once again by my co-host Logan Biedermann, and today we're going into a post-game analysis of the La Crosse Central game, as well as a little preview of our crosstown showdown with North High School.
Before we can talk about North, we got to talk about this past game against Central. Unfortunately, it was a loss.
30-45 was the final score. We were unable to surmount a pretty devastating third quarter, but there were a lot of highlights and a lot of positives to be taken from the game.
I know I say it a lot, but that spirit kept us going in the fourth quarter, and I think that's important.
Yep, we didn't quit. We're never out of the fight, even though the situation was looking pretty dire. We did put some scores on the board and made it look like a fight.
I just think it comes down to confidence in that offensive line. I mean, the plays need to be made, and they're just not being made.
Yep, sometimes it's about putting drives together. We had a lot of big plays, especially early in the first half, and those got us on the board and kept it close. However, making sure that we put together drives, not necessarily only big plays like we did in the fourth quarter, that is going to go a long way, especially as the confidence level. It's going to naturally improve throughout the season. It's just playing live, playing some more games. We finished non-conference 1-1. Now it's conference games all the way through. And what better way to start with North High School?
From what I saw on Friday, it just comes down to the penalties. There's a lot of penalties and a lot of yards lost.
Yep. It's about capitalizing on the mistakes of the opponent. That went really well against Logan, but against Central, a lot of opportunities we got. We were able to force some good fumbles in the second half. However, we were unable to capitalize because of yardage loss on those penalties.
We're just going to see where it goes this Friday.
And speaking of North, it doesn't get any better than this. The Abes are playing the Huskies in another Week 3 matchup this Friday.
The scariest asset that North has going into this Friday is Peyton McCracken.
Yep.
Man with a cool name and stats to back it up.
The quarterback, Peyton McCracken, was 16 for 24 against La Crosse Logan with 245 passing yards and an impressive 3 touchdowns to show for it. He's certainly going to be something for our defense to look after, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
Certainly not. We got a couple of advantages going into this Friday. Namely, we are at the historic Carson Park for an away game.
Right.
Technically speaking, but really it's a home game for both of us.
Yep, a lot of fans are going to show up, and the fact that it's here in Eau Claire is going to do wonders for the spirit aspect, like we always like talking about. Now, another thing that's going to really help out in just analyzing what this matchup is going to come down to is the fact that we played the same opponents. Week 1, we played La Crosse Logan, and Week 2, we played La Crosse Central. They played Central first, then Logan. We both were able to get a win against Logan in some close matchups. We won by 2 points, and they won by a single point in overtime. And then we both lost to Central. Now, you got any words like in the loss to Central, what do you think differentiates between the two?
I think the main difference is that it was a shutout game against North.
That is true. Yep. North was able to post up 0 points, and then about ours?
We got 30 points.
Yep. Very true. Now, different teams will play differently against different teams, just how football is going to go. But the fact that our offense was not only able to score on the Riverhawks, but able to put a decent chunk of change on the scoreboard is going to go a long way. That's going to be great. And I think the offense is really going to show up and give what it takes against North.
You mentioned it already, but the spirit is there. We're going against North. And the simple fact is, there are crosstown rivals. Yep. We're going to bring the heat.
Yep. This is
more than the past previous
one of the most important games of the season by far. We're going to have hundreds of fans on either side, stuffing Carson Park full, and it is going to be a wonder to behold. It is going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great night.
Go Abes.
Hey everybody, I'm Aiden Rickard, Eagle Eyes Other Guy. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel. Go Abes!